than before.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, our cherished viewers, wherever you are watching us from around the world. Welcome to the Perissos Horizon chat room series. This is another edition where we have our guests come into our studio and shed more light regarding their topic, their passion, and what makes them simply pursue their God-given potentials and their purpose in life with such determination. Their stories are supposed to inspire us, motivate us, and help us to continue in our own journey. Once again, it is my honor to have you. I am Patricia Jifamen Salakai, the founder of Perissos Horizon. I am a two-time published author of Fearless, Fabulous, and Flamboyant, and Untangling That Tongue, No More Fear of Public Speaking. Both books can be purchased online via Amazon. Today, I have in the chat room Miss Phillippa Prempeh. She is the founder of She Community Ghana and has initiated so many projects and brands. And I look forward to hearing her shed more light on the things that she has been doing. Today, our conversation is going to focus on the topic, the power of perspectives. The power of perspectives. So please, if you have joined us, kindly share this video on your timeline, tag a friend, invite somebody to join us in the studio because we are looking forward to also having your questions so that she can address them. So I am going to give a brief introduction of our guest for tonight. As I already mentioned, she is Phillippa Prempeh and is the founder and CEO of She Community Ghana. She's an expert development communicator, a business coach, and an advocate for the Sustainable Development Goals, specifically Goals 1, 5, and 8. And she will talk more about that, so don't you worry. With over 5 years' experience in entrepreneurial development and business promotions, Phillippa has engaged over 3,000 entrepreneurs. And I would repeat that she has engaged over 3,000 entrepreneurs through her training programs. I won't take the wind out of her sail. So over to you, Phillippa. Welcome once again into the studio. Please tell our audience a little bit about who you are before we delve into our topic, the power of perspective.
Okay, everybody, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Phillippa Prempeh. I'm the founder of She Community Ghana, as Patricia rightly said. And this evening, I welcome you all to this wonderful program. Patricia, thank you so much for inviting me. I feel this is a privilege. Every time I'm invited to speak to people, I see it as a privilege to share. So basically, Phillippa is a development communicator. I am an entrepreneur, founder of She Community Ghana. I work with business professionals and entrepreneurs, basically. I do business development trainings, personal development trainings. I'm much more concerned about the development of the human mind because I believe that before a country or a people can become any better, it starts from the development of the people. So this is where my focus is. Aside that, I also ensure that I create markets for entrepreneurs and business professionals to promote their businesses. That's why I initiated the Afrika-Konnect Festival and other programs that we do. So basically, that's about Phillippa. I'm sure as the interview goes on, there's a lot more things that we'll be talking about.
Definitely, and I can't wait for us to delve deeper into the interview. We have been chatting, I know, offline, and for a couple of weeks now. You are such an amazing lady.
Thank you.
Just listening to, yes, I mean, looking at how you have sort of weathered the storms and the different challenges and experiences you have been through personally in life. Yet you are so determined and focused, and just look at all the things that you have been able to accomplish and the impact that you've been making. And so I want us to sort of go back into your roots, because I mean, I have spoken to you about this before, and in Fearless, Fabulous, and Flamboyant, the book, I try to let people understand the relevance of connecting those positive, negative experiences, trying to use the lessons from the past, be it positive or negative, to transition into our current and our present in a way that would enable us fulfill that God-given potential or passion that we have. And so please tell us about some of the experiences you had growing up and how that has shaped your mindset.
Okay, so for me, growing up was exciting and not exciting. As a child, I had quite busy parents. So I was taken to the boarding school at when I was in class 2. That was at a very little age, like 6 years or 7 years. I was taken to the boarding school to survive. And I quite remember in my boarding house where we had only the girls' dormitory, we were about 3,000. So it was left for me to survive as a child. Most of my formative years, I had not been trained in the home, being trained among children or among other students.
Not to cut you off, but you know, something significant you just mentioned. The fact that in the boarding house, you had almost about 3,000 people in the boarding house. Did that in any way sort of inspire you to impact all the 3,000 entrepreneurs you have been able to impact in your training?
I didn't see that coming. It didn't click. Okay, so our boarding house, I didn't see it coming. So our boarding house, I just say 3,000 figuratively, but we could be more than 3,000 students in that school. Yeah, in that boarding house, let's say from crèche to JS3, we could be more than 3,000 even. You know, so it was like a survival island where everybody needed to survive, and we picked different characters from that area. So for me, growing up was not like the regular growing up thing. There were a lot of things that I did not know. There were a lot of lessons that I had to learn the hard way. Things like loving yourself, appreciating yourself, like manners, all of those things. I was the kind of child who was adventurous. I didn't know a lot of things from the house. So, like from my home. So I wanted to try things on my own. And I must say it landed me in a lot of stuffs as a child. When I got to the secondary school Form 1, my mother got sick when I went to Form 1 first term, and she died. So from 1 second term, I dropped out of secondary school. So I'm not a regular secondary school person. I didn't finish it. I tell myself that I didn't go to the secondary school because, of course, my first term and my second term was not even the time that I really stayed learning. So my was quite it was not the regular lovely. It was lovely because my parents gave me almost everything. They compensated the absence with money and other resources. Okay, so they thought that we are giving you everything you need and that's enough, but I needed more as a child. But anyway, I think all of those played a role in who I am today.
Definitely, all of them played a role in who you are today. Yeah. And really, that is the import of the life experiences that we go through and those that we hear from the experiences of others. So coming back to the topic for tonight, the power of perspective. You told me that your experiences shaped your journey, but you had that aha moment about how simply changing your perspective and how you view life can suddenly enable you to do so much more. And before we go and give you the platform for you to respond to that, I just want to shed more light in terms of our viewers or the audience that are watching us. The power of perspectives is our topic for today. And your perspective can be your viewpoints or the lenses through which you see things in life. For those of you who have ever visited an optometrist to check your glasses, or you've been to the ophthalmologist, you realize that even our two eyes that we have naturally sometimes see differently. And because I visit the ophthalmologist regularly, I know that even your left eye and your right eye sometimes see differently. Sometimes it takes a different grade or level of lens for you to clearly see from your left eye as opposed to how you would see things from your right eye. And so these are things that are really practical and real. And today we are listening to our guest, Phillippa Prempeh. She is the founder of She Community Ghana, and she has initiated so many projects. And today she's going to shed a lot of light with us in terms of how we in our own situation can also use the power of perspectives to chart our course and keep scaling higher heights. So back to the question, how did your experiences actually challenge and help you to shape your perspective and to decide which lens through which you will see life?
Okay, so for me, what happened was that at age 18, after I lost my mother as a child, I was left with a stepmother who I really didn't like her. She was like one of those wicked stepmothers. It was a bad experience with her. So I became homeless. My father had traveled. I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have anybody to go to. I was just on the streets. I got pregnant at age 18. And I lost my father somewhere around age 20, so I became an orphan. And then on the streets, fortunately for me, I had my sisters who took my baby and left me again to survive on my own. But what happened was that even when I was alone, something was quite different about the way I thought about things, the way I viewed things. Like people would talk to me and say, "Oh, I feel sorry for you," and I'll feel like offended. Why should you feel sorry for me? You are making me feel as though nothing is possible in my life, okay? But I saw my life from a different angle. For me, I always saw myself as, okay, what if I'm that kind of special person that God brought here on earth to be an example to a lot of many people? And that's the reason why God has allowed all these things into my life. This was my way of viewing my misfortune, okay? So I saw myself as a special kind of person who God has gifted with a lot of talents, a lot of niceties, a lot of goodies that can be very, very impactful in the lives of other people. So I never saw myself as less privileged. I never saw all of those misfortunes. At a point, I had to be sleeping on the bridge because I didn't have anybody to sleep on the streets of Dansoman at a point in my life, yes. But during those times, I had this there was this energy that always kept me up there, that look, I think I'm not like everybody else. And that is the reason why I'm very unique, because most of the experiences I have, a lot of people do not have them. And that's what gives me the upper hand over a lot of people. So I tapped into myself. I'm the kind of person I really like to search through me to see the things I have. And when I find something new in me, I like to put it to a test. Okay. I became a radio presenter when I had never been to a radio school. When I was just a secondary school dropout, I was sitting behind a microphone when graduates from the radio school were let me use the word, benches. You understand? So that's how I always viewed myself. And that is a special trait that I believe that anybody who could see life from that angle has a higher tendency of becoming special or becoming great in some extent. Because the moment you start viewing your misfortunes as channels or gifts that God is giving you to make you an example to a lot of people, you really appreciate those moments and you try to find the gold in that darkness. So this is what worked for me. I always saw myself as a special kind of person with a special kind of gift and talent, with special callings. That is why I'm having all these challenges.
Wow. And I think from the story you've just shared with us, your experience, it sort of came to you in that moment that you can redefine the direction in which your life is going simply by staying positive and having an optimistic view to life and looking out for those lessons, those positive things, and how you can apply them. And you ended up even sort of passing that knowledge on to graduates when at the time you hadn't even gone through the sort of education they have been through. So I just want that to really be clear for our viewers.
Okay.
In our ability to apply the power of perspectives to shape our journeys in life, it doesn't really require you to be a doctorate degree holder or a first degree holder to apply these sort of tips that you're giving us. So please share clearly what sort of steps they can take in order to begin viewing life in a positive light.
Okay, so one thing I'd like to talk about is years before, the world did things. We operated with a paradigm called the personality paradigm. All right, where you look at yourself or you look at somebody with their outlook, the way they are, their skills, their fluency, how they can convince you and all of that, to be able to give them your loyalty or to be able to see them in a certain picture. Okay, so in time past, for somebody to see you as worthwhile for anything, they were looking for somebody with a very good appearance, somebody who could speak well, somebody who maybe has money or something. They were looking for all these petty personality traits, okay, that qualified you to be something or somebody. But today we are looking at something we call the character paradigm, and this is a paradigm, or this is a view that if you are able to see your life and operate through that view, trust me, there are a lot of things that will go well. There are a lot of things that will change for you. What am I saying? I'm saying that gone are the days where we look at things from the appearance perspective. Okay, now you have to be looking for character. You have to be looking deep inside yourself. You have to be looking beyond what is on the outside, because most of the special things that makes you are not on the outside. Okay, most of the situations or circumstances that we see on the outside are merely byproduct of the things that happen from our inside. So for anybody to be able to achieve what they want to achieve or be able to walk the path that they want to walk, it is best for you to change your perspective from, okay, these are the circumstances I find myself in. This is what society says, or these are the possible outcomes. You have to start looking at what is inside of me. What positive results could come out of this negative situation that I'm seeing? Because put it this way, if you go to the mine to dig for gold, gold is not on the surface. Gold is beneath the earth, and it is hidden in a mud. Okay, gold is not hidden in crystals. It is hidden in mud. It is hidden in depth. So the moment you start realizing that good things, I mean, the best things are mostly hidden in the most difficult, most unpleasant, most ridiculous situations. The better for you.
Wow. I would encourage those who are viewing us right now, if you have any questions for our guest, please simply type it in the comment section and I'll highlight it for her to see, and then she would respond to it either during the presentation or later after the program. So if you have any questions for our guest, please kindly put it in the comment section and we would ensure that it's addressed before the session runs out. So right now, I know some people are watching and they might be saying that, okay, I didn't have a very difficult beginning or upbringing. I didn't have a very tough life. I have everything that I could possibly require in terms of the basic needs shelter, food, clothing, and living quite a comfortable life. And so why do I need to really understand the power of perspectives? Because in all that we're saying, somebody might think that, oh, you need to go through a lot of challenges before you can start viewing things in a
No,
different light. What would you say
no,
to that person?
no. So first thing I'll say was that I didn't come from a poor background.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were well to do. The only challenge was they weren't available. So I had to grow up on my own. Now, if you are somebody who is comfortable, you don't lack anything, you don't really need to struggle in life, you don't have a lot of challenges, trust me, that very situation you are in is your biggest challenge. That
Mm-hmm.
very situation you are in could be your biggest block ever to achieving what you were made to achieve. Sorry, or to be able
All
to
right.
go through the purposes or the channels that you have been predestinated to go through. Now, to be in a comfort zone is one of the greatest enemies to progress, right? So it's not about you feeling comfortable, it's about how you view what comfortable is. Unfortunately, a lot of people measure their comfortability by the disadvantages of others. So I can look at you, Pat, and say, okay, I am comfortable because Pat I am comfortable in my work because Pat doesn't have a job, so I'm better than Pat, and that's what makes me comfortable. Okay, or I am well to do. I don't need anything. I don't lack anything, and the reason I'm saying that is because I see that Pat lacks something that I have, so that's my measure of comfort, and that's my measure of making it or riches or wealth or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that is
And I
wrong.
see where you're coming with this, because you see that is what a lot of people sometimes sort of, we need to disabuse their minds in terms of even how success is interpreted by different people.
Okay.
Success to one person could be just even running and completing a marathon to the level of their personal best. And success to another person could be being able to complete their first year at the university, or their first year even in high school. So I love the fact that you are drawing attention to how sometimes people wrongly apply that viewpoint,
Okay.
thinking that they are well off simply because others are
So
at a disadvantage.
that is a very, very negative perspective. That's a very negative way of doing things. All right.
Yeah.
So you have to start looking through this kind of lens. Who am I? Where am I? What is the essence of my being here on earth? Whose life am I touching? If I think I'm comfortable, or if I feel I don't need anything, what is this comfort of mine giving or doing for others to ensure that they are also in the right place? Okay, what is my character? This comfort that I have, this place that I have been blessed to be, how is it positively impacting others and ensuring that those people are also getting to a place of comfort? But the moment you start thinking, okay, I am okay, I don't need anything. Where I am, I don't need to struggle. I mean, I don't need to go far to get anything. Why should I even be looking at things from this perspective, or changing my perspective, or looking at things in a certain way? That thought in itself is your greatest it is your error. You get it?
Yes, like a downfall.
It is your
Because
error.
yes.
It is your biggest mistake. It is something that you have to start changing, because trust me, what you call comfort, what you call a good life, what you call a place of rest is actually a place of torment for somebody.
And isn't that
Okay.
interesting? Isn't that interesting, especially when you see a lot of people that are really accomplished, highly accomplished people, and when you speak to them, they wait until their very old age, and they begin to want to now impact another life, because at the time, as you said, they probably missed that point. that it is by influencing and supporting others in a positive light that actually gives you the opportunity to now know that you have lived an impactful life or a successful life. And it's not just amassing the wealth and then being comfortable alone, but you actually derive that success and fulfillment when you have made that impact in the lives of others.
Patricia, life in itself, I always say, is when we say success in life, it has little to do with the physical things, the material things that you gain. Okay, because before anybody comes here on earth, you have been given a special gift or a special something, a special gift, a special talent to come to this earth with. That gift or talent is not for you per se. It is for the greater good of the people, where you will be placed, the community will be placed, the family you will be placed in, the people you will be placed in. All right, whatever you came here on earth with, it's not for you. And now your ability to be able to use that thing successfully, to be able to impact people's life, to be able to practicalize that thing to an extent where you look back and say, okay, this gift or this talent I was giving or this resource I was given to come here on earth with, I've been able to extend it or duplicate it in the lives of many other people. You have not yet experienced success, because true success is that, and not the material wealth. The material wealth or the physical things are just byproducts. Okay, of the real success. They are just the physical representation of the real success, which is how best you have been able to use the gifts, the talents, or the assignments that you have been given to impact humanity, and not the material things.
Thank you very much, Phillippa, for touching on that. And I want us to take our minds into this. There's a series on CBS. I think it started way back in 2010, and I remember because it started in February, in the month of my birth, and it's quite interesting. It is called The Undercover Boss, where you find a lot of CEOs who would go undercover to sort of understand how their employees are able to cope and manage the business from the bottom up. And it is always, even as I'm talking about it, I'm getting goosebumps. It is always intriguing to realize that as they go and work with the employees from the very bottom up and realize the sort of sacrifices some of the employees make, even in making their business successful, it sort of changes their viewpoint and their worldview. And you realize that these CEOs begin to have, I would say, a different perspective. And it sort of shapes their actions. And then they tend to now want to appreciate the employees more, recognize their efforts more often. And I want us to look at it in our setting. You are in Ghana, and I know you have initiated so many projects and so many programs, and you have been training, as we have just heard, over 3,000 entrepreneurs through your programs. Are you able to help them understand that really we don't need to start an undercover boss in Ghana before we start realizing that it is always necessary and important for us to look at the two perspectives from the employee side and always try to make that project a regular thing in order to know how to treat the team, treat our employees, treat our workers, even our team members in our various associations. So how can they actually practice that on a regular basis?
Okay, so in every organization, there are two kinds of people. We have those who are reactive people and we have those who are proactive people. And as human beings, majority of us are very reactive people. So you go to an organization and let's take, for instance, there is a crisis. There's coronavirus. There's going to be a layoff because businesses are going down. The 90% of the employers may be reactive people. They'll start thinking, oh, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to survive? The boss is being selective because he has chosen 1, 2, 3 people to stay behind, and they are laying the rest of us off. The proactive people will say, okay, so what can we do? Though we are in a crisis, what can we do to ensure that we are cutting costs, that we are still serving our customers, that we are still finding ways and means of ensuring that the products we're giving are quality, but we are not spending a lot of money in there because there's a crisis. Okay, so in turn, the company will still benefit and the people will still benefit. And what measures can we put down so that even though you are going to stay at home, you will not stay at home empty, you are still going to be working, okay, you are still going to be active in the office, just that we are cutting costs and all of that. So you get two kinds of people: the proactive people and then the reactive people. Unfortunately, the reactive people are always more than the proactive people. So for organizations, I would want us to look at it this way. Managers and executives of organizations have to be, first of all, looking out for who their employees really are. You need to study your employees and know who they are. Are they reactive or they are proactive? Now, if they happen to be reactive people, what kind of personality traits do they have that make them reactive? Because reactive people only react mostly due to their personalities, due to their weaknesses and their fears and all of those. So
I am sure if we go into details, the details of the personality traits, we won't even end the program. I am going through to check if we have any questions from our online audience. If not, I would quickly want you to touch on ways in which we can all begin to change our perspective and the benefits. We've touched on the different experiences, the impact, bringing it back to what you are actively doing now with all the initiatives that you've begun. Could you touch on them and then let us identify ways we can actually begin to change our perspectives? Because I know sometimes we are looking at the power of perspectives shaping how we are able to even show empathy and compassion. And we see it in how the undercover bosses transform their perspectives when they go to the ground and actually work like the bottom liners are working. So tell us how we, in terms of the viewers, can actually put these things into practice in our own spaces as entrepreneurs, executives, professionals.
One, first of all, what I would like everybody to know and practice is that from today, you should start seeing every challenge as a pot of gold. Now, without challenges, you are not able to find key solutions or new ideas, okay? The gold in business, the treasures in business, the most brilliant and excellent ideas are all hidden in challenges. So I want to encourage entrepreneurs that do not see challenges as things that are there to bring you down or things that are there to destroy your businesses. Businesses can be smooth, okay? If your business is running smooth, you're not a business person, you're not an entrepreneur. Because for us entrepreneurs, we are all about solving problems. We are all about digging out for problems and solving them. So the more problems you have, you should know that you are good at what you do. That's the reason why you are able to fish out problems every now and then.
I love that. I simply love that. And I just couldn't wait for you to bring that point in. Because as entrepreneurs, as leaders, even the youth, those who are looking to starting life, as it were, or continuing to persevere in their startup businesses or whatever idea they have, it is so critical that we begin to look out for the possibilities instead of withdrawing when there is a challenge. And I love that fact.
You should actually go again for problems, because it is when you are able to find a problem and find a solution to a problem that you become relevant. If you're just doing something, you are not one of us. Hello, you are not an entrepreneur, you're not a business person. The moment you start
not solving problems, you are not an entrepreneur. I like that.
Solutions to it, that is when you can call yourself an entrepreneur. Welcome to the game.
Wow. So if you are not digging for problems and looking for solutions to serve your customers or your audience or your employees, then you are not truly an entrepreneur. You are probably in there just to make quick money, and that's it. But that doesn't leave a lasting legacy. Today, we have had the pleasure of hosting in our studio Phillippa Prempeh, the founder of She Community Ghana. And as I indicated earlier, she has been engaged in a lot of initiatives. She started the Clean Up Ghana campaign, the Afrika-Konnect. And I remember we mentioned looking at even the African continental free trade agreement, the possibility of having the borders, become borderless and engaging all over the continent in Africa. How can people take advantage of this unique opportunity through Afrika-Konnect? What are you into right now?
Okay, so right now, because of COVID-19, Afrika-Konnect Festival is quite on hold, but we are praying that COVID-19 will pass soon so that we can come together, because it's all about showcasing our culture, our heritage, our offerings through the products and the services that we offer. So entrepreneurs come from different African countries with their unique products. I mean, we are not talking about products that you've imported from other countries. We are talking about products that you have made in Africa with a touch of Africa, which tells the story of Africa in a very unique way. So we're just praying for COVID-19 to pass. We will come to this grand, big and grand.
Wow. This is amazing. All right. We don't have any specific questions from our online audience. And so I would ask you to give us your final words. Today, we have been talking about the power of perspectives. And Phillippa is one lady that if I give her 24 hours, we would go on and on because she is so full of ideas. She did not recoil, she did not give up, but she persevered through her own experiences. And with every curveball that life threw at her, she bounced back, probably dunked, and even won the scoring goal, because she goes in there to dig for problems. She sees challenges as a pot of gold. And that is how we actually need to look at things in life. Look at it through different lenses, and always ensure we are looking through life with a positive lens, being optimistic. Because, I mean, Phillippa, there are some people that sometimes you even get a bad report from the doctor. And through the power of perspective, simply believing and having faith. Anytime I go back into the good book and I look at that phrase that comes in the end, your faith has made you whole. That is such a powerful statement.
Do you know that there is a science that actually uses your mind, your perspective to heal real sickness? That you are not placed on medication, nothing. Your mind,
you're simply reframing your mind.
Your body heals itself based on your perspectives and your thinking. No matter the sickness, people have been healed of cancers, of serious diseases because of their perspective, because of the way their minds were channeled and the way they operated through their minds. So life in itself is made up. It's all made in our mind before.
Okay. So I know Mavis is online. In fact, I am honored to have Mavis joining us tonight. She's asking you. She says, "Are you a member of Toastmasters?" Because
no, not yet.
she's read an invitation, not yet. Okay, so maybe she'll have your question answered. I'm sure she will touch base with you after the show. We have just a few minutes to wrap up because, as you know, I just want to give people the opportunity to learn from the journeys of others, to learn from the stories and experiences of others, because there is so much that we can all do together. If individually we are able to have that self-awareness that we need to challenge ourselves to survive and to thrive, and then collectively we can come together and make bigger impact, because the world needs more people that are optimistic and not pessimistic. I believe for optimists in this COVID time, it has become a new pot of gold. They have looked through their situations in a different lens, and it is giving them an opportunity to make more impact. But for those who are pessimists or looking through their worldview and only looking at the problems and not looking at solutions or the possibilities, it has been a tough time. So that is why I loved the topic that Phillippa wanted to share with us, and I couldn't wait to bring her on board. I hope it has been valuable for you and you would continue to engage with her. She can be connected with on Facebook and on Instagram at Phillippa Prempeh, or look for her on She Community Ghana and continue to be part of her activities. Together, we can continue to scale higher heights. And that is the focus of Perissos Rising Chat Room. It has been such an honor having you, Phillippa. I know you are one busy lady, and I'm so privileged to have you here. I look forward to hosting you once again. But before we go, I want to remind our audience and those watching the replay, please like our Facebook page, Perissos Horizon, and follow me on YouTube at DTM Patricia Jifamensalakai. I know some people came back to me the last time asking me what a DTM is. A DTM is a distinguished Toastmaster. And what Toastmasters do basically is we meet regularly to build on our communication and leadership skills. I was so excited to launch in today that I didn't actually tell you I am a communication and a leadership coach. But more about me later on. I want to focus on my guests. Please, Phillippa, let's sign off in a minute and just let us have your parting words. Let us have your parting words.
Okay, so thank you all for watching, and thank you, Patricia, for having me. Now, I want to tell you something very brief, and that is a quote that I shared recently on social media. I would like to quickly get that to all of you. I think it will be of help. Now, it says that gone are the days when loyalty was won on personality ethics. Today, people are awakened to the genuinity of character ethic and are truly committing to those who are operating from inside out. So for you to be able to operate from inside out, it means you have to change your perspectives. You have to change your way of looking at things. The previous way of looking at things and managing business and managing people, where you feel like a boss, you make the decisions, you put people down and all of those things. People are supposed to bow to you and all of that. People are supposed to love you because of your personality, because of your skill or your talent, all of those, because you have the ability to maneuver your ways through people. Those times are past. Now people are looking for others who do things out of within, okay? People who are doing things out of character, people who are looking at the humanity aspect of everything. So if you're a business person, you have employees, or if you are an employee yourself, I want you to start looking at things from a humanity perspective. How does your actions or your inactions affect other people? How does your actions or your inactions bring progress into the business or the community or the activities that you're involved in? I think that if you
Thank you so much. And this is where we bring today's interview to close. Today, my guest has been Phillippa Nana Prempeh. She is the founder and CEO of She Community Ghana, and we were having a conversation based on the topic, the power of perspectives. And we've learned so much. I encourage you to watch the replay and share this video. Leave your comments in the comment section or your questions, and we will try and address it in the course of the week. If we don't sign off now, we will stay till the end of the night. And I am so honored. Thank you to all our audience who joined us live. Please continue to share this video and follow our social media platforms. The power of perspectives. Let us continue to look at things in a positive light. Let us continue to look at the positive impact we can make in the lives of others, because the world needs more solution providers, problem solvers, and not those who just sit on the fence. And in our next, upcoming series, we are going to touch on a few of these, how we can become active citizens, how we can, simply thrive and help each other to become better. So this is where I bring it to an end. I am Patricia Salakai, honored to be having you. I look forward to engaging you in our next series. Take care, Phillippa. Have a lovely evening.
Have a lovely day, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.